They are 8 to 5. So, guys, I have been sleeping under an umbrella. And you know those type of umbrellas that the cloths have already come off from the pins and the pins are hanging. So that's how I have been sleeping under an umbrella. When there are trees, when there are houses that I can sleep under, I was sleeping under an umbrella. And this story time is just for me to talk about my finances, right? I came across these financial opportunities that have been ongoing in Nigeria for a while now. And I heard about it obviously like last year, going to like almost a year and a half ago. But I never paid attention to it because I thought that what I was doing in terms of investment and saving was actually giving me better returns than I expect than this new opportunity. But guys, I was wrong. So I'm just going to talk. So in this episode, I'm just going to talk about the farms, and this is investing in farms, right? So I heard about it a while ago, but basically what I thought was that the returns I was going to get was going to be annualized, and that's what happens with the mutual funds, which is what I have been using. So I've been using mutual funds to make investment opportunities, to invest my savings and stuff, and that's where I keep my money literally. But I just realized that with investing in farms, I'm getting better returns because it's not annualized. What mutual funds, let me just explain. So what mutual funds do is that they annualize your returns and you get accumulated interest rates on a daily basis. So that means that if the interest rate for as of today is 13%, and you make your investment today, so from today, you're going to get 30% times your investment time. Let's say you invest 10,000 naira, 13% times 10,000 naira times 1 divided by 365. So that's your return for it per day. But then with mutual funds, the thing is that the interest rate changes every day depending on the underlying investments that the fund managers or asset managers make. So today it can be 13%, tomorrow it can be 13.5, next tomorrow it can be 12.5, it can go up to 14. So basically it depends on the underlying assets, and most of for fixed income mutual funds, most of their investments are like commercial papers and treasury bills. Obviously, you know what rates treasury bills are going. Like I think the last one was like 19% for a year or something. So anyways, it basically depends on the underlying assets, and your interest is annualized, which is what the calculation I had given earlier states. But with investment in farms, right, what I thought was that you can have a maize farm, you can have ginger farm, you can have carrot farm, you can have rice farm, you can have poultry farms, there's cow farm. They are just different times, and obviously it depends on the farm platform, the farm lending, farm crowd financing platforms that you're going to use, and obviously the farms available at the time you want to invest in. So I recently came across this ginger farm that was like giving 20% returns for 6 months. So my understanding at the initial stage was that your returns, that 20% is going to be annualized. So you're going to have to calculate. Let's say I invest 20,000, I'm going to calculate 20% of 20,000 naira, and then multiply it by 6 months in days. That's 180 days divided by 365. That's what I thought my return was going to be. So when I compared it to mutual funds was giving me like returns of 13 to 14, like 12.8% to 14% returns. And then this other one, so let's not even talk about this 20% that I saw, because this was even recent. The other one, I saw last year, I saw farms that were going for 11%, 9%, 10%. So that's why I thought that, okay, you know what, with mutual funds, I'm getting a better return, so let me ignore it. And then going into this year, right, I was talking to one of my colleagues and I overheard them, saying, oh, they wanted to invest in farm and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. It's not really giving me the returns that I want. But he was like, oh, that's what he does. That's the only investment he does. And I'm like, there has to be like something about these farms that people are going for when there are like mutual funds around us that we can invest in, and our lives are easy and we're not worrying about money, and we can take out the thing. Obviously, mutual funds, you can take out your money as you like, right? I think different mutual funds have like different investment periods, holding periods, such that you won't lose interest or you won't lose your investment if you take it out. And most of them are like you have to keep it for 1 month. Anyways, it differs. But then with farms, again, another thing is that you can't get your money back. Like, you can't get your money until the maturity date of the farm. That is until, let's say you invest in a maize farm that is 6 months. In 6 months, you get 20% return. So you can't, in 3 months time, you can't say, okay, I want my investment back, or please give me my investment. You cannot do that. You have to wait for that 6 months to get your money back. So that's one other thing that I thought was actually good, because I didn't want to have access to my money. And mutual fund gave me access to my money, and I'll see that, okay, I've run out of cash. Instead of me to just wait and minimize my expenses and stuff, I'll just withdraw from my mutual fund. That's what I used to do. And I was even thinking of putting in fixed deposits, because, okay, you know what, I'll put the money there for a year, and if I take it out, I'm going to lose my money, I'm going to lose interest, obviously, with fixed deposits. But fixed deposits was not giving me a significant rate. I think rates now are like 8% or something for a year. And I'm just like, Obviously, it then depends on how much you're investing. But I'm not investing high amounts, so my return was, what I was looking at was like 7%, 8%, and I was like, that was not going to work. Anyways, so with farms, right, I had to now go back and say, okay, why exactly are people so interested in investing in farms? And I realized that I called one of these farm crowding platforms. I called them up and I'm like, I'm just going to invest. I just wanted to know, how much was I going to get at the end of the day. So it's 20, like, I saw some for like 15%. I saw some that were open 15%, 20%. And they were like, you're going to get like the 20% for 6 months. So that's like, there's no annualization, there's nothing like that. Your return on investment is 20%, or depending on the farm, 15% or 11%. So for 6 months, what I'm actually getting is 11% of whatever investment I put in to the farm. And let me just declare that this is not sponsored in any way. I've just gone out there and I've seen something, an opportunity that I feel like I've lost for like a year plus now. And I'm just trying to bring everybody's focus into it. So these farm crowding platforms came up like almost 2 years ago, maybe 2017, 2016, 2017. So that's when most of them came up and started. I remember that this was during the whole period of when Triple M, the scam of a investment platform, when that sub was dying down, when people were like, oh my God, I've lost money, and people were losing money. So I heard about these farm investment platforms during that period. So it was kind of like skeptical. I don't want to enter into anything that is giving me this kind of returns that I'm not too sure about. And that's the thing about when all these frauds happen. It's so hard to keep people interested. Like, that's why countries try to avoid financial scandals, distress, try and save all these significantly important companies, because people just, it just makes investors lose their trust in the system. And you kind of like overthink and think twice, even when there are good opportunities out there to invest your money into the economy, into the country. You're just overthinking and being like, no, I don't want to lose money. It just makes people skeptical, essentially. So during that whole period of MMM going bust, like it was like, you know what, mutual funds is safe, it's guaranteed. It's an institution, it's an organization that is managing it. This organization, although like obviously companies do fail and everything, I'm just saying that, okay, you know what, it's a more structured platform, and I have full understanding of the underlying securities that they're investing in, right? And that was the problem with MMM. There was no underlying security. So it was just people lending to people lending to each other, and then collecting returns, like significant returns that wasn't justified. So it's not, I wouldn't even say that it's really lending, because lending is like the person is you're lending. If you lend to someone, right, let's say I give you 10,000 and I say at the end of the year, like my interest rate is 10% on that 10,000, so that means you're meant to give me 11,000 at the end of the day, right? And then the thing about lending is that you can collect your money monthly. Do you understand? There's someone that is going to pay you back, and which is what banks do. But with that MMM, it was till now I'm not even clear of the concept, because the thing was that I would get, if I put about 30,000 or something, I'll get whatever amount I put, I'll get 30%. 30% was the interest rate that they were guaranteeing people that they will give them. And this 30% was, you had to put it for like 3 months, right? So you had to put your money, you had to leave the money there for 3 months. And within that 3 months, the expectation is that more people will put in their money into that platform, and it's from there that they're going to pay you back. So it's not like you're lending to someone that is doing a business and it's from the income of that business that the person is paying you back. No, that was not what MMM was. This is not even to talk about MMM. Let's just scrap it for now. I'm just going to focus on farms, and let me just explain the whole concept of a farm, of farm crowding, farm funding investments and stuff. So what the idea is that when you get a farm, you see a farm that you want to buy. So it can be a ginger farm. That unit of whatever is the minimum investment amount is actually relates to the amount that is required to start up that farm. So essentially, let me just assume that the farmer has the land to farm and probably just need like the crops to start farming and buy fertilizer, buy tools that he needs to just make the farm grow and the plants grow and everything. So, but there's already a land, and there's a what's it called? There's the word for. Anyways, the land is an agricultural land, and obviously they can use it to farm for that particular produce. So when you're buying, let's say a ginger farm, is minimum investment is 25,000. When you pay that 25,000, that goes directly into investing in that particular land, that particular farm. And it can be like a whole huge acres of land, and then it's just one small plot for your farm. But basically, at the end of the day, you own a farm. You own that farm for that period of investment. So if it's a ginger farm for 6 months, you know that you own, there's an actual agreeable land that you're investing in. And from the produce at the end of the 6 months, 6 months is what I'm just using 6 months as an example. So some can be 9 months, some can be 12 months, some can be 3 months, 4 months. Basically, it just depends on the produce and where exactly the farm is located. So for that farm, if the ginger farm now it's saying 6 months is your investment horizon. So that's the amount of time that it takes from planting the seeds for the plants to grow and then produce fruits or produce ginger at the end of 6 months. There should be ginger that is available for them to sell, and then for you to get your return on that sale. So obviously they've captured into the investment returns and stuff, management fee, obviously fees that goes to the platforms and fees that goes to the farmer. So the farmer obviously has to get some return from, or work or payment from, taking care of the farm and making those produce at the end of the day. So that obviously you would have to discuss personally with the farming platform that you choose. So that's really what it is. So there's actually a product that you're getting the return from. It's not some fictional funds from different people. It's actually a farm, and they are producing goods that will be sold, and from there you get your return. That's what it is. And obviously the first thing was just basically what's the underlying asset, and which is what I explained with the farms now. And the second thing is the guarantee. So with the farms, right, most of these farm platforms have an insurance company backing them up. So for some of them, I know most of them have like, your investment is guaranteed. So if at the end of 6 months the ginger farm fails, or maybe they are not able to make the total amount of returns expected or something, like, you get your money back. So if you invest 25,000, you're getting that 25,000 back at the end of 6 months, which is obviously not ideal, because you would have put that money in treasury bills and have gotten some sort of return from there. But anyways, it's guaranteed by like an insurance company. They have some organization backing them up, and some of them, like a few of them one of them I know is that you're guaranteed your investment and your return back at the end of the period. So even if it fails, that insurance company that is backing them up has to pay you the investment and return. That's the second thing. So guarantee of money. And the third thing that is so critical is that people need to understand that with farms, you can't get your money back until the expiration of the investment horizon. So if you know that this ginger farm is going to give you these returns, they've said it's going to give you returns in 6 months, you have to wait until the 6 months to be able to get your money back plus the return. So you can't within 3 months say, please, can I have my money back? No. So you have to wait for 6 months. So which obviously puts you in a tight position. So you have to understand where you're getting money from, where your expenses are coming from, how you're going to be making money. You need to understand that. Critical. That's very critical. So I hope like I've been able to explain like farm crowding to you guys. And obviously when you do your research, do your own research. I don't want to actually recommend any particular farm website, but I know a few. But anyways, let me just say, so the ones I've come across is Thrive Agric, Farm Funded, Farm Crowding, and there's another one that's like Agric or something weird like that. But anyway, so just Google them. So now I remember the other one. It's eFarms. So I've said 4 now. So that's Thrive Agric, eFarms, Farm Crowding, and Farm Funded. So those are the ones I'm aware of. But obviously, in investing in farms, it depends. It obviously depends on the farms that each platform has available. But I hope this was able to sort of give insights into this investment opportunity. And if you try it, let me know. If you have more information about them, let me know. Just put your comments below. Thank you for listening.